first here, it shows because this is a slideshow just because there's sensitive account information that had to be blurred out. And so we were just on the trading tab to place the stock orders. And then we are now on the manage tab. And so first on the manage tab, it will show summary here. And then there are different buttons here as well, like my accounts, my money, my profile, and tax center. And so this is the landing page for the manage tab. It is the summary tab. And then from there, to fund the account, you would go to my money, and then there would show the overview. And then we have a few different options that you can select from here. And so any sort of funding and stuff like that would all be done under this My Money tab. And then from there, if you wanted to deposit by ACH. So just to explain what by ACH is, that is if you were to deposit, if you want to deposit straight from your checking account to then go into your brokerage account. And then that is what by ACH is. And just to walk you through that here, when you click on deposits, this is what would come up. You could choose from all the different deposit variations here. And so for by ACH, again, to deposit straight from your checking account to your tastytrade account, it would then pull up these different steps. So for the first step, you would want to make sure the account you would like to deposit into is selected there. And then in step 2, you would link your bank account. And so I can go into the process of how you would link your bank account now. And so to link your bank account, once you click on that, it will then pop up this window that says to find your bank. You can search here, which is very important to then search because there will be a few banks listed, but this search function has more banks than are listed here. And we use a third-party service called Plaid, which I will go over in just a moment. But you would want to search, let's say your bank isn't listed here. Excuse me. We have a few different banks on this initial list, but let's say your bank isn't on that list. You can still search and then see if your bank will come up to then link via Plaid. And then, so if you are able to find your bank that you use, there will then pop up a window that says tastytrade uses Plaid to connect your account. And then, so in this window is where you would log into your bank account through the Plaid service to then connect. And Plaid is a third-party a third-party company that we use to verify deposits and things like that. When you're connected using Plaid, that winds up typically in shorter deposit times, typically 1 to 2 days, I would say. So that's either overnight or the day after. And then you can also get, in most cases, you can get up to $1,000 in instant buying power. So let's say you deposit $5,000 right now, for example, there would be a pop-up screen that offers you $1,000 in instant buying power. And then the other $4,000 would reach the option buying power either the next day or the day after that, typically. So if you are not able to link via Plaid, if the bank you use is not compatible with Plaid, then what you would do is link via micro deposit. When you link via micro deposit, you will go through this process and first enter in your bank's routing number, and then your bank account number, the bank account type, and then the bank account nickname. And all of this information would be information that is provided by your bank. We do not yet have this information at tastytrade, which is why we need you to enter it. And so all of this information would be on your bank side, the routing number, the account type, as well as the account nickname. And so when you link via micro deposit, it can take up to 1 to 3 business days. As you see, there's this little note here that it can take up to 1 to 3 business days to arrive into your account, as well as there's a $10,000 limit within a 5 business day period. If you link via Plaid, which is the slide I just showed you before, let me go to that again. If you link via Plaid, you can deposit up to $250,000 every day, which is an industry limit that's there. And so that would be $250,000 a day if you can link with Plaid. And if not, and you can link via micro deposit, then you are able to deposit up to $10,000 every 5 business days. And then, so just to explain the rest of the funding process by ACH, is you can then set the transaction frequency if you want a one-time deposit, or you could do a recurring deposit. Let's say you want to deposit, a certain amount of money every month into your account, you would then change that there. And then after that, in step 4, you would just enter the deposit amount, and that would be how much, it's sort of very straightforward. That would just be the amount is that then deposited into the tastytrade account. And so I see a question here from Andrew. Is interest paid on outstanding cash balance in your account? Our clearing firm does pay a very small amount of interest. It's 0.01% paid by our firm at our clearing firm at Apex. But we do offer, if you want cash to sit somewhere rather than just idle cash, that is at our clearing firm. We don't have any mutual funds or anything like that, but we do offer treasury ETFs as well as purchasing treasuries, treasury bills, treasury notes, treasury bonds. And also, just one thing about funding in the account is that you want to make sure that your name matches the tastytrade account name. So, for example, if you have an individual account, you would not want to transfer from a joint bank account to an individual tastytrade account, and you would not want to transfer from a business bank account to an individual tastytrade account. You want to make sure that you are depositing from a like bank account. So if you have an individual tastytrade account, the deposits must come from individual tasty or individual bank accounts. And if you have a business account, the deposit would need to come from a business account rather than an individual account. So let's go take a look at the next slide here. And so once you are ready to submit, that would then pop up this window for it would show the tastytrade account number, the linked bank account, the amount you're depositing, and the frequency. And then you can click submit there, and that would then initiate the deposit. And then, so if you would like to deposit by wire, you would initiate that at the sending firm, and you would be able to send that into tastytrade. You would below on this tab, do I have a image of that here? Let me just take a look. So on this same tab, but a little bit lower, we have the tastytrade deposit information, like the tastytrade bank account number, which is different from your account number, saying our bank account that we hold at another firm to send it there. And all the wire information would just be on this page, which you can enter at the firm from which you are transferring, from which you are wiring. And then if you would like to deposit by check, this would be the information that we would need here, or the information that you would need for it to arrive here. You'd want to put, this is the address that you would put, and then this is for what you would have in the for further credit to memo or description would be the first and last name of you yourself and your tastytrade account number. And then, so to talk about ACAT transfers, this is a transfer from one brokerage account transferring into your tastytrade account. And so anytime you are doing an ACAT transfer, you would be initiating the transfer at the receiving firm, so the opposite of the wire. When you're doing an ACAT transfer, you'd be initiating it at the receiving firm. So if you were to deposit via ACAT, you would be initiating that with us on the tastytrade website. And so here you would first make sure that you have the account selected that you want to transfer into. And for ACAT transfers, let's say you have an individual cash account, you would need to be transferring over another individual account. If you had an IRA, you would need to be, like if you had an IRA open here, or you want to deposit into an IRA from a current IRA you have at another brokerage firm, that would also need to be the same type of IRA. So you need to, just to recap that, you would need to transfer into like accounts. So if you have an individual account at one brokerage, you would be transferring that to an individual account at tastytrade. If you have a traditional IRA at one brokerage, it would be to a traditional IRA at tastytrade. And then in step 2, we would be needed you to provide the account holder name, as well as the account type, the account number, and then we would just need you to confirm the account number there. And then for step 3, you would click on this blue button here to link your brokerage account. We also use that same third-party service Plaid to link the brokerage account here as well. And so just to show what that looks like, that would be the same sort of window. And again, just because your brokerage firm that you have is not listed as one of these here, we just, populate a certain list there. You can search for other brokerages. Any brokerage that uses Plaid, you can search here and they will have they should populate, and then you can log into your brokerage firm there to get the account transfer started. So just to recap here, you would log into the brokerage account through the Plaid window on the tastytrade side, so we can go over to the sending firm and then grab the securities and cash or anything like that, and then transfer it over to tastytrade. And then so in step 4, you can either do a full account transfer or you can select certain assets. Let's say you have a bunch of different stocks and you only wanted to transfer over half of them plus any cash over to tastytrade. It would be populated up here in step 4 as to what you would be able to transfer. And then in step 5, we would just need you to upload a recent statement from your brokerage firm. Is there any questions about the ACAT transfer and how that works? And so also just to mention, if your brokerage firm does not use Plaid or not compatible with their system, we do have a form on our website under the forms and agreements page, as well as a help center article on how to fill it out about doing a paper ACAT. That can just take potentially 1 to 2 business days to get processed by our banking team. And then once that is processed, it would be the same process as the online account transfer. Yep. So Kenneth, just to confirm there, you would, if you want to transfer positions in stock, you would want to do the ACAT transfer. And then also if you have any open option positions, you would not, like, let's say you have covered calls or something like that, just for example purposes, you would want to make sure that those options will not expire during the ACAT process. The ACAT process industry-wide takes about 7 to 10 business days. So if you have options expiring between 1 month and 2 weeks, that's something to be mindful of, and that can potentially mess up the transfer if, let's say, an option gets auto exercised or assigned. And there's also no ACAT transfers are not available for futures and futures options positions or crypto as well, but we are going to be accepting crypto deposits to the tastytrade platform soon.